Family Guy is one of the most successful adult animated shows of all time, producing classic comedy moments for over 20 seasons. Although the show was cancelled early in its run on Fox, the studio revived it because of its cult following. Seth MacFarlane's comedy didn't garner the ratings Fox was hoping for at first, but the DVD sales and high ratings of syndicated reruns convinced the studio to give it one more chance. Family Guy has also introduced some of the funniest animated characters in television history, with some standing out more than others. While some fans label the show as nothing more than a raunchier version of The Simpsons, MacFarlane continues to prove them wrong as they are in the midst of the 21st season. While there are some jokes that fail or go on too long, the show isn't afraid to make fun of itself or anything pop culture related. In the first season, Meg Griffin was voiced by Lacey Chabert, but since then, Mila Kunis has stepped in as the Griffins' most mistreated family member. Meg is the eldest child of Peter and Lois, and for one reason or another, Peter fails to connect with her. He, his sons, and even sometimes her own mother are incredibly cruel with the things they say towards her. Meg can be sitting in a scene, not bothering anyone, and a crude comment about her will likely be made. Unfortunately, for those who really want to root for Kunis' character, Meg is easy to hate. She whines, she does not fit in with her family, and since people tend to default to loving the protagonist, Peter, it is effortless to go along with his jokes and ridicule the eldest daughter. The Seinfeld actor, Patrick Warburton, has a very distinctive deep voice, so when Joe Swanson appeared on the screen, fans immediately knew who was behind the man in the wheelchair. Joe is a paraplegic police officer, but nobody, including criminals as well as his own friends, should ever think that they can get the upper hand on him. He is determined, stubborn, and he has a bit of a temper. Since he's a cop, the writers have fun poking at all the stereotypes and horrible jokes that are made towards law enforcement officers, and Joe takes them pretty well for the most part. Chris, voiced by Seth Green, is the middle child of Peter and Lois, and as a middle child he is often left out of things. His older sister, Meg, gets attention because everyone makes fun of her, and his baby brother, Stewie, receives affection because no one really pays attention to the horrible things he says. To put it kindly, Chris is unintelligent, unathletic, and completely unmotivated. He is incredibly kind and gentle-natured, which redeems some of his personality traits, but at times, his good intentions get him in trouble or mocked. Fans especially like his continued rivalry with his childhood nemesis, the evil monkey. After Family Guy was picked up for a third season, Mike Henry decided he needed an additional character to bring in some controversy, so the "old man next door" trope came into play. Instead of being a sweet elder, Herbert is a perverted older man who has a creepy fascination with Peter's oldest son, Chris. On a number of occasions, Herbert has tried to lure Chris to his house or trick him into a certain situation. Reviews were expected to be mixed because adding in the sexual jokes of a pedophile is not something everyone tends to laugh at. However, Herbert is a favorite because while what he says is downright dirty, his slow nature, age, and many failed attempts makes him appear more harmless than dangerous. Cleveland Brown is one of the funniest characters in Family Guy history and became so beloved he was given a spin-off show, The Cleveland Show. However, The Cleveland Show was cancelled after 4 seasons and the character returned full-time to Family Guy. Cleveland serves as one of the kinder characters in the show, however, his patience is often tested by Peter. A popular running joke is when Peter breaks or crashes something into Cleveland's house, which leads to Cleveland always falling out of his bathtub. His baritone voice and pronunciation of certain words are hysterical and often confuse his friends.
Thank you for watching my killer video this far. I hope you have been enjoying what you have been watching so far. For more of my videos, remember to click that subscribe button to be notified of my videos. Let's get on with the other half of this video.
Before everyone knew her as Susie Meyerson in The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, Alex Borstein was, and still is, the voice of Lois Griffin. Lois comes from a proper New England family, but as fate would have it, she fell in love with an annoying goofball, got married, and had his 3 children. Lois is meant to represent the typical stay-at-home mom, but there are a few instances when she gets out and lands herself a temporary job. Fans love to see her second personality come out at times when she is telling a story about her past, or when she simply does not care about the consequences of her actions. These, unfortunately, are few and far between instances. In all, she is the glue that holds the Griffin family together. A character that started off with a small role but eventually became a featured player is the Griffin neighbor, Glenn Quagmire. Quagmire appeared in the very first episode of Family Guy, although he wasn't given a name and only had one line about winning a free beer. Living on the same street as Peter, Joe, and Cleveland, Quagmire is part of the circle of friends but is the only one who isn't married. Quagmire is always chasing women and is obsessed with sex, even having a mini love palace in his house. Quagmire is also best known for being an airplane pilot and loving cats, which causes a major rift between him and Brian. Family Guy would not exist without its main character and Quahog's favorite family buffoon, Peter Griffin. Often drinking beer and hanging at the Clam with his buddies, Peter is a working-class slob with a heart of gold. Peter's bizarre antics and embarrassing moments are second to none on Family Guy and usually structure the main plot of each episode. Although he's not bright and makes a lot of mistakes during the show, Peter is a loyal and loving friend, father, and husband that tries his best. Peter's 2 main jobs during the show's run have been at the Happy-Go-Lucky Toy Company and Pawtucket Pat Brewery. However, he often uses cutaways to explain his hilarious jobs involving something ridiculous. Along with Peter, Brian Griffin was the other staple character for McFarlane's animated series. While he is technically the family pet and Stewie's best friend, Brian is his own unique character with thoughts, feelings, and struggles. He hangs out with people, drives, drinks, and questions his own purpose in life, so it is quite clear that him being a dog does not get in the way of his preferred lifestyle. Brian is possibly the most rational thinking and intelligent character in the whole series, and he is quick to call out ridiculous shenanigans before they take place. When his character was killed off in season 12, fans were so upset that it caused the writers to bring him back through the use of time travel. Stewie Griffin is the baby and youngest son of Lois and Peter, and he is anything but sweet and cuddly. From the beginning, Stewie makes it very clear that he plans to take over the world and kill his mother at some point. He doesn't seem particular about which one comes first, but for a little sociopath like him, he just wants to see the demise of others. Like his best friend Brian, Stewie is incredibly intelligent, but no one ever seems to take him seriously. Perhaps this is why he is the best character. At times, Stewie will actually act like a child, and it is cute. However, he quickly forces himself to snap out of it and continue on with whatever brutal scheme he has up his sleeve.